Welcome to the Political Matrix News. We have the sources, we have the truth from inside the political matrix.
Hello, and welcome back to the Political Matrix News broadcast. This is Greg Fink here, joined tonight with Jonathan Cole over in Navarre. And I think we're going to carry on our conversation here with who is the next groomer of the Republican Party. Who's, I guess, probably groomer would not be the proper word of saying it. But who's the next leader of the Republican Party after Donald Trump exits stage left? And it might be somebody who's interviewing him. Do you think?
If you can call that an interview.
It was an interview. I mean, there are two wonderful billionaire men. One who's a moderate Democrat, Elon Musk, who's a moderate Democrat.
He's becoming more and more Republican.
He's a moderate Democrat, Elon Musk. And his interview, he also opened the interview as well to Kamala Harris. She has not responded yet, and she hasn't responded to any interview yet. But his interview with Donald Trump was pretty good. I think they had 1.5 million people watching it live. And since that time, they've had almost 1 billion people, I guess 990 million people view it on Twitter, on X. And probably by the time of this airing here, it'll probably be well over 1 billion, because we'll be airing this year on the 14th year.
Do I need to explain those metrics?
Are you going to explain them in a manner that is going to say that they're lies?
Not lies, just you're looking at data wrong.
Possibly I'm looking at it wrong. I mean, Trump did say 60 million people watching it live, and I didn't repeat Trump's statement.
There's only 330 million people in this country.
According to Fox News, Fox News said 1.5 million.
Yeah, that means people viewed it multiple times.
No.
Yeah.
No. They viewed it live.
Yeah, no.
Yes.
Half the world had to have viewed the video.
I mean, and it was 2 hours of Trump unfiltered. I mean, he went all over the place. He talked about all sorts of things. In fact, we're going to have some excerpts here playing here real quick of Trump and Elon talking. So just stand by here.
Elon didn't do a lot of talking. Trump just talked all over him. So
actually, he did. But stand by here while we show a few clips here real quick. So we're going to show some clips here. See, that's pretty interesting, wasn't it?
No clue.
That was Trump at his best.
What, the part about he's fleeing to Venezuela if he loses?
Okay, you know what? He already has land in Venezuela.
It's in the video. So
I know that. That's not the point. And I mean, that's where the machines that keep breaking are from, anyhow.
Venezuela?
Yeah.
Oh, the voting machines. You have to be more specific.
Voting machines, yeah.
Well, they also say that millions of Venezuelans, criminals, are coming to this country, and I'm just curious.
They are.
How are they getting here?
Walking.
Nope. Colombia has a closed border with Venezuela. It's not happening. They shoot people on sight.
Somebody's obviously flying them over.
There are millions of Venezuelan criminals flying over.
They're flying over, obviously. They're coming to the border legally. Well, they're flying into Mexico. They're walking over through Mexico.
I'd like to see the flight data from Venezuela. I don't think.
Yeah, I like to see it too.
I think that's just Trump's delusions in his head that he likes to spit out, and 70 million people believe just because he said it. We can get into the whole the electric boat and the shark thing, or whatever.
The reality is that it's a very interesting interview on X. I do think that's a direction that Elon Musk is trying to take his platform. I think he's trying to take it that direction where it's more journalism driven.
Charismatic person. Well, he's not really charismatic though. He's just rich.
Yeah, he's pretty funny. He's pretty charismatic.
Yeah, he doesn't have Trump's charisma.
But do you think he'll be the next leader of the Republican Party?
I'm sure if the price is right, sure.
I think he might be the next leader of the MAGA movement.
I think a lot of Republicans wish that would just go away.
A lot of them do. A lot of them realize that MAGA is just basically an acronym for a term that was started out by Kennedy. And I mean, in fact, if you actually watch the CNN,
Make America Great
Bill
Again.
Clinton ran on it. Bill Clinton started out his whole presidential race in 1992 saying that he wants to make America great again because what the demise of the American economy brought to us by George H.W. Bush, with breaking his no new taxes pledge. And so that's what Bill Clinton ran on, was making America great again. John Kennedy said the same thing, so did Ronald Reagan. It's not an originated acronym by Trump. It's just been a little bit soiled by some of his people who want to overthrow the government, allegedly, in order to make America great
Kennedy
again.
and Reagan
Their
didn't
idea.
have an entire demographic of people who blindly followed them.
I understand.
No matter what they said.
The demographic of people who are the little crazy people who are following Trump and Looney Land, yeah, I get it. They weren't around back then. Unfortunately, they are now, and they're voters because anybody can be voters. That are legally allowed to vote, and they let people vote. And that's the way it is.
I think they're actually refugees.
These guys are actually former Democrats.
That ship got left rudderless after their usefulness ended, so Trump just picked them up.
I mean, most of them used to be Democrats anyway.
No, they're all
Southern Democrats. Yes.
They're all hardcore Republicans.
They're Southern Democrats who basically didn't like the Republican Party.
Yeah, they're called Dixiecrats.
Dixiecrats, correct.
Yeah,
they didn't the moral.
They're not evangelical. 64.
In fact, if you look at a lot of the MAGA movement's not really evangelicals. It's not the far right. In fact, a lot of them believe in larger government, bigger government in some areas.
What MAGA people are you talking to?
The people who want to go ahead and have the government go ahead and be in control of people's lives and
yes, they want an autocracy with their leader running the show.
Correct.
Yes, we know that. That's what January 6th was about.
Yes, and those were not small government conservative people. Those are big government weirdos.
So, go back to Elon Musk, and of course, for the second time, his great machine breaks down in the process.
And just like the healthcare thing did when Obamacare came out. I mean, that whole thing just died immediately. When the Affordable Health Care Act came out in 2010, the whole system just crashed because it did not have the wherewithal to handle everybody trying to get onto it. And the same thing kind of happened with Twitter. So many people got on Twitter last night, crashed.
I don't think 1 million could constitute a crash, but okay.
Well, it might have been more than 1 million. That's the reason why the numbers might be off.
I don't know, but the episode last night was what happens when you put two narcissists in a box and shake it up.
Yeah, have a little bit of a party.
Yep. But I think that was the conversation we didn't see. Yeah, I think you could do what I'm doing, but after I'm dead, don't come near me while I'm doing this. But you could be the president. You'd be great. You'd be fantastic. I could see that in you.
Right.
See that in me too. Yes. Yeah, it'd be great.
You'd be groovy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see Elon Musk taking over that group of the party at all. I mean, to follow up what we were saying before in the last segment, I don't see anybody out there left at this moment to take over what Trump is going to leave.
It's kind of like with between Bear Bryant and Nick Saban, there was a lot of deadbeats at Alabama.
Right.
That's tends to happen
that.
when you have that
charisma. Gene was good. Gene was good.
Who?
Stallings was good.
Yeah, but they still hated him because he wasn't Bear Bryant. They ran him off.
He couldn't beat Auburn.
Then you get Mike Shula and Mike Dubose. And who was the guy that didn't even get to coach a game? But he
That
did spend
guy.
a lot of money at Arides in Pensacola.
Yes, he did. But Heath Schuler?
No, I can't remember his name now. But
Yeah.
it's why would Elon Musk want to do an interview? He's not a journalist.
Yeah, I know he's not a journalist. I mean, they're obviously wanting to put out some sort of narrative out there to suck up all the oxygen in the room. I think the biggest oxygen was that he was actually sitting there taking questions and asking Donald questions about issues. And I think it's Elon's delve into trying to be a journalist and trying to make more of a movement.
Isn't running
with
a
his
space
platform.
program and building electric cars enough? And then
What?
planning brain trips?
I don't know.
So anyway,
It's one very weird setting, but I mean, it was also a good setting for Trump because I think he was able to get a lot of his points out without being filtered.
very incoherently and with his denture slipping. Yes.
Okay, and also it's like I saw another show today, and our news team was talking about all the personal attacks. You need to stop on both sides.
Yes. Let's start with the person who started it all in 2016.
Or let's just all be mature adults and let's just quit it all together. They start talking about the issues that the kitchen table issues that everybody's going through. Everybody's going through poverty. They're going through healthcare issues. They don't care about his dentures slipping out.
Yet.
I mean, nobody cares about his damn dentures falling out or what color his hair is or if he has a wig. I mean, his skin changes tones every few days. I mean, Biden's probably going to be resigning from office here next week.
There's the other issue that they hammered again today. He can't get past Biden. Reminds me of a candidate we used to have that couldn't remember who they were running against.
Exactly. A lot of candidates forget who their opponent really is. Whenever they do that, they're going to lose.
Republican circles. It's out there. In fact, there's a Daily Mail piece about Republican circles kind of telling Trump he should respond after last night. So
right.
I hadn't had a chance to read it in full. But
and Nikki Haley, she was on with a Brett Baer earlier this evening on Fox News. And she was very, very clear about the name calling and all the personal denigration and everything else needs to stop.
But and people stop need,
He's been doing that. Start talking about the issues of the people. Period.
He's been doing that for 40 years. He's not going to stop.
Yeah, well, in order to win this election, you're going to need to start doing that. There has to be an adjustment made.
We've run narcissist campaigns.
Yeah, we ran a lot of narcissists.
You can't get them to see that line of reasoning.
Yeah, it's very hard.
So,
especially at that high of a level when you're president of the United States, it's a very high level of narcissism right there. And so, in order to get them to understand that, it's practically impossible.
Yep.
Yes.
Which is very.
We'll go ahead and you guys just hold on for the next segment here, and we're going to talk about the former stand-up comedian, leader of Ukraine, attacking Russia, and how I think it's totally idiotic and moronic, but I could be wrong because I'm not a military man. And so we're going to talk about that in the next segment of the Political Matrix News.